So, our today's discussion will be on the emotions. How do emotions form and how do they show up in our body and how do we experience? So, starting off with the definition of emotions, basically, everything like our emotions start from our head. It basically these are the stream of thoughts, any sort of thinking which goes on in your mind, and later on which takes the form of emotions. And emotions do show up physiologically in the form of there are this bodily changes that the person experiences. So, for example, if your senior talks to you in a harsh manner, right? So this is the incident happened to you, and there is this stream of thoughts that start to occur in your mind, like why did this person talk to me harshly? Why did this person misbehaved with me? So these are the stream of thoughts that run in your head, and these are uh, not only the thoughts, but rather these thoughts also convert into the bodily changes also. Like your blood pressure shoots up, your the heartbeat also increases, and you tighten up your fist, which and these are the things which happen in the which the person experiences physiologically, that those stream of thoughts have converted into the emotions, have taken the shape of the body. Therefore sometimes people experiences the headache, उनको सर में दर्द हो रहा होता है when they are really stressed out, when they are really angry at somebody. So, and also when people, when people are sad, like something happens to them, for example, somebody who fails a course. So, and there's this stream of thoughts that start running in their head that they are a failure, that they will not be able to do something in their life, or their parents will lash out on them because they have failed the exam or they have failed the course. And these stream of thoughts will convert into the emotions, will show up physiologically. And how will it happen? The person, the person in terms of sadness, the person will start crying. So this is the physiological change that is happening because of the stream of thoughts. The person is sad, right? Or what could be the other things that the person experiences in terms of sadness? The person feels lack of energy. They do not want to do anything. They just want to lie in their bed, or they do not want to talk to anybody. So these are the symptoms of sadness which take the form of physiology. So in order to conclude our first slide, it's about emotions start from the from the start in the state of head, like there is this stream of thought that run in our mind. एक सोचों की लहर होती है, सोचें होती है हमारे mind में, later on which takes or change the form of the physiology, or it comes or show up in the form of bodily changes. So next slide is about the basic emotions. Basic emotion is about that is experienced like everybody, that is experienced by everybody all over the world, or these are also called as universal emotions, that is experienced by everybody all around the globe, right? So these are the basic emotions: fear, anger, sadness, happiness, hatred, surprise, or disgust. Next slide is about the physiology of emotions. So in this, we will discuss if somebody is angry, or so what are the changes a person experience in their body. In other words, which we call as the physiology of emotions. So as we know that there are two parts of the nervous system: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. And over here, we will be very clear about the difference, like what are the emotions, what are the state or the circumstances when the person's sympathetic nervous system is going to get activated. So this is the time of the fight or flight or anger, like when somebody is in the state of danger, like for example, if the person is being chased by a thief, or a robber, or somebody is in the state when there is somebody else who is trying to attack you. So there's this fear or the state of danger, or you are angry at somebody. That are the circumstances when your sympathetic nervous system going to get activated. And parasympathetic nervous system is the opposite of sympathetic nervous system. It gets activated in times of calmness, when you are all calm, you are not, you are all relaxed in state of calm and relaxation. Your parasympathetic nervous system come into play. Our next slide is about, like, when there's this state of anger, fear of fear of state of fight or flight. So your sympathetic nervous system gets activated, and in the sympathetic nervous system, what sort of bodily changes occur? So in times of fight or flight, or when you are angry, your digestion gets stopped. All the blood flow which is towards your stomach, it gets narrowed. And why does it get narrowed? Why do the blood supply towards your stomach gets hampered or stopped? Because the blood is needed, the energy is needed in the limbs. Your limbs include your feet, your hands, right? So these are also like the limbs, and the limbs, your hands, feet are also called the extremity of your body. So the extremity, your hands and feet need the energy, need the blood flow, because these are going to get used in times of fight or flight, because in order to, you have to run, you have to have energy in your legs, in your feet. In order to punch somebody, in order to fight with somebody, you have to have energy in your arms, in your hands. So therefore, all the blood flow which is towards your stomach, it gets stopped, it gets hampered, right? Next is, in times of fight or flight or anger, your glands within your body, they also bring changes. They also produce such hormones which help you, which make you prepare for the fight. So pancreas releases glucogen. And what does this secretion do? What does this release do? They try to bring in all the stored sugar, to mix that sugar into your blood, so that your muscles of your body gets the energy which can help you prepare for the fight or flight. Along with it, adrenal gland, which releases adrenaline, and this also brings bodily changes which helps you prepare for the fight, or in times of anger, or in the times when you are in danger, and when you have to take a quick action. What are the next changes that are keep on changing within the body? So we will go on to the next slide, which is breathing. So breathing also gets increases the vessels that carry the blood towards your lungs, and from your lungs it gets expanded, because you all of you have experience, when you are get angry, your breathing gets really fast, and it also helps the increase amount of oxygen, because that's the time we need a lot of oxygen. Because we are involved in a lot of action, we either have to run, we either have to protect ourselves from the attack, right? We also have to we also have to fight back to the person who is attacking us. So in all these things, our breathing gets increased, paced up. Heartbeat, our heart starts to beat really fast. And you can also, at that time, you can also feel the heartbeat, because it gets really fast in time of danger, in time of anger. And in return, the blood supply of oxygen also gets increased, because the muscle need the oxygen, lot of energy at that time. What's the next slide? Pupil of the eye, in that time gets increased. However, contradictory to this, when the person is sad or angry, pupil of the eye contracts, because the emotions the person is experiencing, all of these things show up in the physiology of the person, in the body of the person, the emotions show up. It doesn't mean whenever we are angry, sad, or happy, this does not affect the body. This does affect the body. If if we talk about, like, other than this, the course, if we talk about that when the person is in stress, for example, this could be the stress because of this family thing going on in your mind. There's this issue related to, relate to anybody that run in your mind. It could be related to your studies, to your family, with your friend or relationship. So these things, show up in the physiology of the body because the hormones release in the body. And I always share with you, the stress hormone is the cortisol, which, affects our body, which stops digestion and all of these things. It affects the body. Blood pressure gets increased, and there is this lot of discussion. There's this lot of, common example you have heard from the people. Because of lot of stress, they got the diabetes, they are suffering from the blood pressure. So this means that whatever the emotions we feel, this does affect the body. And the emotions, do not show up all of a sudden. Emotions start from our mental thoughts, from our head, from our mind, and then the emotions show up, which in return, are affect the body. So after the pupil of the eye, there is this salivary glands. Salivary glands, it releases, releases saliva in our mouth. But in times of anger or in times of fight or flight, the salivation, stops, or the salivary glands start to produce very thick saliva, which in return, because it makes you feel that your throat is, is drying up, your mouth is dried up, and you need water. And muscle contraction, a muscle gets really tightened up, it gets stiff. It's because, and because of that, people lot of, say that they feel lot of muscles stretch. And you have heard a lot from your mothers when they are, when they are stressed out, or they are trying to take a lot of burden of their children. So their, muscles, get stiff. Extraordinary aspect of the emotions is experienced, like, for example, you have heard different stories that the when the child, was about to get crushed under the car's tire, or somebody's, feet get under the car's tire. So their parents was get so much, angry, or they get so much, what did we say, that um, active, you may say, that they have lifted up the car and they helped the child there and then, and their child got saved. Or you have also heard that their child or somebody was about to drown in the water, and somebody tried to save them and try to help them to swim in the opposite direction of the flow of the water. So why do we experience these changes? This doesn't mean that the person becomes, Superman in times of anger or in times of fight or flight, that they, lift up the car in anger in order to save somebody, or try to try to swim really fast in order to save somebody. It doesn't mean the person becomes angel or that extraordinary power the person get. But rather, what happens is the muscles of the person, gets really working in the paced up way. Really, the working of the muscles gets increased. And because of that, increased activity of the muscles, the person can do extraordinary things, like lifting up the car or doing other things in order to take the action in the according to the incident, or according to the circumstance. So this is the discussion of the day, and I hope all of you have understood. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you.